Okay, everybody. So yesterday I went over the problems you could have welding. Today I wanted to go over what's going to come in the welding kit, and then how to deal with that stuff. So you get a box like this, just like you did with arc welding, and once again you'll get two nice helmets. I got two pairs of gloves in here, a medium and a large. I also try to throw coats. I got like a 2XL and a large coat in here also. And I got a big fire extinguisher. Okay. As far as tools that I sent with you, I sent pliers for handling hot pieces of metal. I also sent a side cutter for cutting off the electrode wire when you need to do so, if the wire is too long, or if you have to do some spool work like we did yesterday. I also threw a screwdriver in there for cleaning out the nozzle if you need to get anything out of the nozzle. I also have a couple of wrenches in here, which I'll go over at the end for the regulator stuff on the tank. I've got some pieces of steel in here that you're going to use to do your welds with. And the welds I'm looking for from you are T-weld, butt weld, and a lap weld. I will include the welds that I did in the box so that you can see what I'm hoping they look like when you're done. So I'll include my welds in there with it. I gave you several pieces here to do that with. I also included one bigger piece. I wanted you to practice making a few beads first before we actually start putting pieces together. So, like I did on this piece, is I made a few beads on it before I started, just to make sure I had my hand speed right and my my beads were uniform. Before you start welding stuff together, you have to be able to make uniform beads. Otherwise, there's no sense welding stuff together if we're not making uniform beads yet. Okay, so that's what this bigger piece is for. I've also included some extra contact tips. So if you do have trouble with the welding gun, you have an extra contact tip to replace the contact tip that's on there. Please don't put the used ones back in the bag. If you end up having trouble, I'd like to be able to keep an accurate count on those so that I know how many we need for the next person. Okay. Lastly, I went over setting up the gas on this thing in another video. I didn't go over how to take it down or take it apart. So when you're all done with everything, you're going to want to turn the gas off on the tank. So turn the gas off on the tank, but then we need to depressurize everything because everything's still got under pressure. Now, going out to the gun here, it's only under 25 psi, so it's not a heck of a lot, but we still should do the right thing here and start with depressurizing that. So I'm going to pull the trigger, and all it takes is just a little bit like that to depressurize any gas that might be in the system. Okay. Now we need to back off our regulator. So I'm going to back my regulator off, which I think on this one is, I should probably check that, make sure I'm doing that the right way. These ones are a little bit different. Yeah. To back the regulator off on this one, you turn it in. So I'm going to turn my tank off again here. Turn this all the way in. And there we don't have any gas coming out anymore. I've released the system of pressure. Now we're ready to take it apart. So I'm going to grab my 11/16 wrench, disconnect the hose from the welder, then I'll grab my big wrench here, I think it's a 1 1/8 or something, disconnect the regulator from the tank. The regulator is relatively fragile. I mean, this is made out of, plastic. And so, handle it with care. When I pack it, I'll have it nestled on top of a coat or something in there so nothing can happen to it. I would ask you when you put it back in the box, do the same thing, okay? Remember, if you do have any problems welding, please call me. Don't try to fix things by hoping they're going to fix themselves. We'll figure out what the problem is and we'll get you on the right track. But have a great day, everyone.